pressing issue for all of us, and that's the current global situation that's occurring. Many of us have family members that have been affected. Some of us know friends. This thing has actually touched us all in some kind of way. Just, the other day, we set another record as far as how many new cases have actually came up. And, I got a friend on here. Some of you know him. He's Mr. Freecoiner. Mr. Freecoiner, go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? Mr. Freecoiner joining you this evening. Hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Mr. Freecoiner. I know you got a busy schedule and everything. Guys, if you don't know, just look up his channel, Mr. Freecoiner. I'll put a link to it in the comment here. It'll be a link there for you to go see it. And Mr. Freecoiner talks about cryptocurrency. He talks about politics. You name it, Mr. Freecoiner will cover it. So go and check out his channel. He's got a lot of videos there. And so just, check it out. All right. And so I wanted to get him to come on here because to help me out with my first video. So guys out there in the audience, don't crucify me here. I know it's first video and everything, but I'm just trying to get myself started. So thank you, Mr. Freecoiner, for coming to do a shout out to help me out here.
No
now,
problem.
Mr. Freecoiner, tell me, I was just hearing the report just today, and they said there were over 80,000 new cases from Thursday. They said it was a new record.
Right.
Mr. Freecoiner, tell me, what do you think about this? Where are we going with this thing, man? Like, tell me your thoughts.
Well, so me personally, I think, obviously, well, the virus is something to be concerned about, right? However, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as what we're being told. I think there are some other agendas behind all of this. There's a reason why it's being pushed like this, because how many times have we ever shut down anything for the flu? And there were many more cases of the flu. So I think there's definitely some fishy stuff going on.
Yeah, that's a good point because, one of the interesting things I thought about was that when this thing first came on the scene, they were reporting it in March. They were saying about the numbers were great and they were high. It's kind of been an evolutionary process for me, just thinking about it all, because I do think it's one of those things where none of us, of course, want to get sick. And so we don't want to take a chance with it. But I know that the media, Mr. Freecoiner, has a tendency to overhype things as well. And so what would you say, Mr. Freecoiner, to someone who has actually lost a loved one, who says, well, this thing is more serious than what you guys think? What would be your response to someone who says that, Mr. Freecoiner?
Well, definitely, I'd have to give my condolences. I mean, anytime we lose a loved one or, someone important to us, it is definitely, it can be devastating, and, it can leave you, with wondering what to do next. But the fact is that there are many things that can take us out of here. There are car wrecks, heart attacks. I mean, so many things. But the problem is that with this particular situation, they're compounding, all these issues. When you shut countries down, when you restrict people, it causes other issues. You don't cut off your arm simply because you got a splinter in your finger. It does not work that way. So that's just the way I look at it.
That's a good point, though, Mr. Freecoiner, because you're right. For example, by all the shutdowns, it really exacerbates the situation even further, because now we have people that are out of work, who businesses are closing down. We have people that have been furloughed that don't know when they're actually going to be going back to work. And when you look at everything going on right now in our Congress, I mean, they can't even come to an agreement about a stimulus. I saw a report, Mr. Freecoiner, just recently, a few days ago, about over 10,000 evictions. Well, right now, landlords are not supposed to be evicting tenants. because of the current situation. And so what they did was, and I think it was in the state of Oregon, they came up with the process and they said, well, if you landlords are going to be evicting tenants, you're going to have to pay up to $4,000 to relocate them to another place to live. So it's kind of like a gotcha. You're not supposed to be evicting tenants right now anyway who can't afford to pay their rent. So if you're going to evict them anyway, then you're going to have to pay for them to actually get another place to live. So it's like you said, Mr. Free Corner, we have this problem going on. Certainly, those out there listening, we're acknowledging it's a problem. Just saying that it may not be, some things may have been overhyped or over glamorized, if I can say it that way. But we do acknowledge that the result of it happening, it's definitely bad. And like Mr. Free Corner was saying, if you have a splinter, you don't cut off your arm. You deal with the splinter itself. And so all these people, Mr. Free Corner, homeless,
Right.
no job, no food to eat. We can't get a stimulus because they can't come to an agreement. They're playing politics right now during a time where people are hurting. And to your point, Mr. Free Corner, taking off the arm hurts a lot more than the splinter. Because we've all been impacted in some kind of way. I mean, right, Mr. Free Corner? Wouldn't you say it's the actual situation, the result of the current problem, that's actually the biggest part of the problem right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And, just for you guys out there listening, we're not saying that the current disease is not real. We're not saying that at all. We're just saying that the effects from having it, like Mr. Free Corner pointed out, shutting down the nation, shutting down businesses. Mr. Free Corner, what do you think about this? I heard a report the other day that was saying that there was an ordinance in Chicago where they were not allowed to actually dine inside of a restaurant. Well, it's cold now. They're not going to be dining outside either.
Right.
What's going to happen in those businesses now, Mr. Free Corner? The ones that were barely getting by having people sit outside. What's going to happen to them now?
Well, the whole objective of these people who are essentially trying to destroy the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. I have my issues with many things that the U.S. has sanctioned. But what I've come to realize is that the majority of the population, even from the inception of this country, did not sanction or agree with the evil things that were being done. So that means there is either a group or a faction of people who are actually the ones doing this stuff. And now it has come to a point where they are literally trying to destroy the entire country and therefore destroy our lives. So, I mean, it's really kind of unbelievable, but it's never too late. We're not too far gone yet, but it's still something that we'll have to fight for, because whether you like this country or not, you live here. And if the things go down the way they're looking, there won't be any businesses. You won't have a home. If you don't have a job, how are you going to pay for your home? If you don't have a job, how are you going to pay for food? How are you going to feed your families?
That's
Those
right.
are questions you have to ask yourself.
And you know what, Mr. Free Corner, just going off that narrative anyway, I just pulled up a website here. Can you see it? Where some Americans don't want to wear a mask. And, that's one of these effects, of, having this current issue going on. Me personally, I don't like wearing a mask either, but I'll wear it, just because I'll do it more. Actually, I do it. I don't want to get sick myself either, but I'll do it also because I want to make sure others are comfortable. But, there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, we have an immune system. This is what our immune system is here for, to, to combat these type of issues when they come up. If our immune system is not used, like according to one doctor I saw on YouTube, how will it actually be exercised in order to be stronger? And so I bring up this website here about Americans who don't want to wear a mask because it's also an effect of the actual current situation going on. Some people just don't want to do it. And so it's one of those things where, we're in a bad situation, but like you said, Mr. Freecoiner, the effects of the current disease going around, it's the effects from it that are actually seeming to be more damaging than the actual disease itself. And, with that being said, what type of advice would you give someone at this time, Mr. Freecoiner, as far as how to handle the current environment we're in? What would be some tips you would urge the listeners to practice while we're going through this?
Well, I mean, like I said, this is, we're, if you're healthy, you don't have any other issues. I mean, why are you afraid of something that's essentially the flu? I mean, it doesn't make it a whole lot of sense. If you want to wear a mask because me personally, I do wear a mask on some occasions simply because I'm doing it because there are other people who are less aware, less awake than myself. Sometimes you have to do that for people who are just not as intellectually mature, right? But all in all, if you're wearing the mask because you want to keep yourself from getting sick, then it's a futile effort. This is a futile action that you're doing because the masks don't stop you from getting sick. In fact, bacterial pneumonia will be caused by wearing masks. Do you know during the pandemic, the Spanish flu pandemic, do you know the reason why so many people died was because they were doing the same thing that they're doing now, wearing masks. And because of that, because you're breathing into it, right? When you breathe out, there are bacteria coming out of your body. When you breathe through this mask, the bacteria collect on the mask and they grow, right? They increase in number. So you're actually making yourself sick by wearing the mask. Your body isn't meant to have something blocking your airway, because you're expelling. See, all of these things are waste. Let me ask you a question. Would you wear a diaper because someone told you and never take it off? I mean,
no, not at all.
Exactly. When you eliminate waste, right? You wouldn't wear a diaper and go number 2 in your diaper and just keep it on your body all the time. Well, obviously you're going to have some type of infection. Your body, when you exhale, when you urinate, when you defecate, these things have to leave your body and get clear of your body because your body is getting rid of waste. Exhale air is exhaling waste, because if you keep this waste near your body, you are going to make yourself sick. It's as simple as that.
I mean, that's a good point. And it's those of you in the audience, understand, we're not telling you what to do. We're not telling you not to wear a mask either. Certainly you have to do what's comfortable for you. Like Mr. Freecoiner said, he wears a mask, in environments where it'll make others feel comfortable. We know Mr. Freecoiner doesn't want to get sick either, but it's just that, the thing we're saying here is that while the current situation is pretty, and these things are actually causing problems in the economy and things that actually, I don't know, Mr. Freecoiner, I would say when this thing is all said and done, if it really gets to a point where we can really say it's all said and done, I think it's going to still take the economy anywhere from 3 to 5 years at least to recover. What do you think?
Yeah. So what do you mean, if we shut down again, or what?
No, I mean, like, for example, let's say, they come out with a vaccine and people take the vaccine, and then all of a sudden this disease is going away and it's being minimized, and it, when we see no more signs of it, I still think with the effects from it, that we're going to be still looking at 3 to 5 years at least for the economies around the world to recover.
Well, so I think there is quite a bit of damage that has been done. The initial shutdown, right? Mm-hmm. The U.S. has primarily not been so harshly shut down as some other countries have been. Now other countries are shutting down again. It's like this. If we were to completely reopen and everything go back to the way it was, I think we could probably return to normal. I think by the end of next year. I think we could back where we were at before this all happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's the way this is going to go. I think they're going. I'll say this: if the wrong person gets in office, then we are going to have some major problems, and the country will never recover. Even if, and with the opposition that the current president has, if he does get back in, because of that opposition, it would take a while for things to get back. Hopefully, we can return to normal within his next 4 years. Mm-hmm. It's likely. With that opposition, it's likely it won't happen.
Yeah,
we're in for some interesting days, not good days. I hate to say it. Either way, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I hate to, say I agree with you on that, but you know what? There's a saying, right, Mr. Freecoiner? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And frankly, what you said, I mean, that's just honestly what the situation looks like. And, those out there listening, we certainly hope that it's different. We want you to stay safe. We want you to do everything you can to protect you and your family. But we also want you to be informed. We want you to not just take everything you hear in the media at face value. Really exercise independent thought and see if those things being put out are really true, or see if it's just something to over sensationalize, something at the same time. But we just wanted to come on. We wanted to talk about the effects of the current situation. I wanted to get a heavy hitter here, Mr. Freecoiner, on. So guys out there listening, I appreciate your patience here with me. Again, first video, but I want to thank Mr. Freecoiner for coming on, taking some time out of his busy schedule. And you guys make sure to go check him out. Mr. Freecoiner, any last thoughts before we get leave here?
Well, really, just guys, don't be afraid. Fear is never a way to live your life. Death happens. It's going to happen to you. So don't live your life in fear of death. Live and pray, and that's really all I have to say.
Very well said, my brother. And again, audience, we appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, this is CJ Highway out.